Good day, grade 8 students. I'm Sir Argel Landicho, your teacher in Mathematics 8. And as promised last week, I will be discussing the content for the second week of your module for grade 8 Mathematics. And the main purpose of this video is simply just to guide you in answering the content or the task assigned in your activity sheet or in your module. So since that's the main purpose of this video, I want you to first get your activity sheet in Mathematics 8 and let me help you answer it. So, start. So yeah, the content of your week 2 Mathematics 8 modular distance learning is the rational algebraic expressions. So with this topic, you will be able to illustrate rational algebraic expression and as well as simplify rational algebraic expression. So before we begin with rational algebraic expression, let's just have a review of what you had when you were in grade 7. Because when you were in grade 7, you were taught of algebraic expressions. Do you still remember this? I hope you still remember this. Okay, so an algebraic expression is an expression that contains operations, numbers, and one or more variables. Okay, let's repeat. An algebraic expression contains operations, numbers, and one or more variables. So basically, in mathematics, an algebraic expression is anything that contains a number with a variable and an operation. You still remember the four fundamental operations: the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay? So take note of that. So for you to analyze that, let's just have an example of this one. Okay, so let's go with example number 1. So we have here an algebraic expression 5x minus 2. Okay, so let's try to look at the parts of the algebraic expression given, which is 5x minus 2. So let's go first with the terms. If you still remember your lesson in polynomials when you were in grade 7, you probably know what terms are. So the terms here in algebraic expression, this algebraic expression are first 5x and the second one is 2. Again, so how many terms do we have here in this algebraic expression? We have two terms, 5x and 2. Let's go with the next one. 5. 5 is the numerical coefficient or the numerical value of the term 5x. So we are looking at the first term first. Okay, so the first term again here is 5x. Now, let's take a look at 5x. So the numerical coefficient is simply the number of the term. So the number of the term is 5. Of course, alam natin na ang number ay 5 at ang x ay letter. So the numerical coefficient is 5. From the word itself, numerical coefficient of a term, meaning we are looking for the number. It's 5. Okay, let's go now with the literal coefficient. Okay, so the literal coefficient is simply from the word itself, literal letter. So we are looking for x. It's the literal coefficient of the term 5x. Okay, so again, we're just looking at the term 5x. The numerical coefficient of 5x is numerical number 5. And then the literal coefficient, literal letter x. Next, this one. How do you call this one? Okay, so we call it minus, subtraction, or simply negative. Okay, so with this one, since this is used as an operation, we will call it as minus. So minus is the operation or subtraction is the operation of this algebraic expression. Okay, and then the last one is negative 2. So it became negative. So negative 2 is the constant or the term with no variable. Okay? So the second term is 2 and it has no variable or it has no literal coefficient. Wala siyang kasamang letter. So meaning, pag walang kasama yung letter sa isang algebraic expression, it is the constant. Okay? So negative 2. You will of course look for the sign. Okay? Since the operation involved is minus or subtraction, and ito ay katabi ng 2, meaning 2 is negative. So, negative 2 is the constant term. Again, how many terms do we have? 2. 5x and 2. And what's the first term? 5x. Okay, so 5x contains a numerical coefficient and a literal coefficient. Okay, so the numerical coefficient is 5, numerical 5, and the literal coefficient is literal letter is x. Let's go with the operation. What's the operation involved? It's subtraction. And then, what's the constant term? When we say constant term, it's the term with no variable. Ito yung term na walang kasamang letter. It's negative 2. Okay. Alright, let's continue our review of algebraic expression. We have here example number 2, 6y cubed plus 2z minus 5. Okay, let's look at the parts of this algebraic expression. We have here first 6y cubed, 2z, and 5 are the three terms. We now have three terms in the expression. Again, what are those three terms? We have 6y cubed, 2z, and 5. Okay, so those are the three terms. Another one, 6 and 2. So as you can see, 6 and 2 are the numerical coefficient. But sir, paano po yung 3? Hindi po ba yun numerical coefficient? But as you can see, obviously, 3 ay hindi kasing laki ng 6, 2, and 5. Meaning, if you will go back when you were in grade 5 or when you were in grade 6, 3 is just an exponent. 3 is the exponent of y. It is not a numerical coefficient. So the numerical coefficients here, since we have two terms including variables, we have 6. Again, I'll change the color. We have 6 and 2. These are the numerical coefficients of what terms? The term 6y cubed and the term 2z. Okay? So the numerical coefficients are 6 and 2. And we have y and z are the literal coefficients. Again, from the word itself, literal letter. Okay, kunin na lang natin yon. Letter, y, and z. What letters do you see? Those are the variables. Those are the literal coefficients. And we have negative 5 is the constant. Okay, negative 5. Okay, so let's try this one. We have 3a squared minus 4b plus 7. Let's take a look at the parts of this algebraic expression, one by one. Okay, one by one. Let's go first with this one, the first one. So blank and blank and blank are the three terms in the expression. Again, we have blank and blank, blank and blank are the three terms in the expression. So what are the three terms? The first one, we have this one. So we have 3a squared. And then we have the second term, this one, which is 4b. And then the last term is, of course, this one, 7. Second question. What are the numerical coefficients? These are the numbers beside the letters. Okay, the numbers in the terms that contains variables. So ano ba yung terms na mayroong variables? We have 3a squared and 4b. So ano na yung mga numerical coefficients or numbers na makikita mo sa mga terms na yan? Una, we have 3 and we also have 4. And then, let's go with the literal coefficients of the terms that contains variables. What do we mean by literal coefficients? These are the variables. Okay, so ito yung mga letters na nakikita natin. Okay, so let's go first with, of course, we have A and we also have B. These are the literal coefficients. And which is the constant? It's just the term that does not have a literal coefficient with it. It's positive 7 or just simply 7. Okay, So why do we have to look at these things? Why do we have to review your algebraic expression? Because this will help you understand rational algebraic expression. Okay? So again, rational algebraic expression. That is why we had a review of algebraic expression. So with this, let's begin with rational algebraic expressions. So when we say rational algebraic expression, this is an expression containing a numerator and a denominator that are both polynomials or that are both algebraic expressions. Okay, so pag sinabi nating rational, pag sinabi nating rational, dapat ang unang papasok sa utak natin, it's in mathematics, it contains fraction. It is fraction. Okay? So pag sinabi natin rational algebraic expression, it contains algebraic expression or it is a fraction that contains algebraic expression. So it is an expression of p of x and q of x in the form of, so this is the usual form of a rational algebraic expression. We have p of x over q of x, or the algebraic expression of the numerator and the algebraic expression of the denominator. And laging tatandaan, kapag rational algebraic expression, there can never be a denominator which is equal to 0. So, meaning q of x must always be not equal to 0. Okay, when it's equal to 0, definitely the expression is not a rational algebraic expression. It is undefined. Okay, so simply you have learned in grade 7 about polynomials or the rational algebraic expression. If there is a radical sign and a negative exponent, then the expression is not an algebraic expression. Again, we will go back with the review. Again, when you were in grade 7, you were taught that a polynomial or an algebraic expression that contains, or if there is a radical sign, pag sinabi po natin radical sign, ito yon. Ano po yun? Square root, kung madalas nating sabihin. And kapag meron po siyang negative exponent, if the variable has a negative exponent, definitely the algebraic expression or the polynomial is not an algebraic expression. Okay, now let's go with the real battle. Okay, when say battle, laban. Okay, so example number 3, it's the expression 3x plus 5 all over 2x minus 7. Again, how do you read this? 3x plus 5 over, or pwedeng all over, 2x minus 7. So that's how you read that. Okay, so let's try to analyze if this expression here is an example of a rational algebraic expression. So how do we know it? First, look at the numerator, and then second, look at the denominator. If the numerator is a polynomial, and if the denominator is also a polynomial, meaning the expression is a rational algebraic expression. Let's look at the answer. The numerator and the denominator are both polynomials. Therefore, the expression is simply a rational algebraic expression. So, sir, paano po ba namin malalaman kung ito ay rational algebraic expression or not? Simply take a look back at the basic rule. Pag sinabi nating algebraic expression or polynomial, it must not have a radical sign. Wala dapat itong square root. Or simply, kapag ka po, wala po siyang negative exponent. Okay? So kapag wala ng dalawang ito, meaning algebraic expression ang nakikita mo. Now, kapag rational algebraic expression po, yung ating tinitingnan, lagi nating titingnan ang numerator and yung denominator. Okay? Kung pareho silang algebraic expression or parehong polynomial, that's the same. Okay? So, 3x plus 5. Ang 3x plus 5 ba ay polynomial? Yes po. Yung 2x minus 7 po ba ay polynomial? Of course, it's also a polynomial. Wala po akong nakitang square root. Wala po akong nakitang negative exponent. Hindi rin po nag-zero yung denominator. Definitely, the numerator and the denominator, since the numerator and the denominator are both polynomials, meaning the whole expression is a rational algebraic expression. As simple as that. Okay? Let's go with example number 4. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. We have 7a plus 8 all over 2a raised to negative 4. Again, I will read it again. 7a plus 8 all over 2a raised to negative 4. Now, take a look at the basic rules. Ito po ba ay rational algebraic expression? Siyempre, check mo muna yung numerator. Yung numerator po ba ay algebraic expression or polynomial? If yes, may isa ka ng check. Next, yung atin pong denominator. Ito po ba ay algebraic expression? If yes, may dalawa ka ng check. Tingnan natin kung tama. Hindi. Okay, bakit? The numerator is a polynomial. Of course, wala pong square root, wala pong negative exponent. So, this is a check. Now, alin ang mali natin? The denominator. Because the denominator contains a negative exponent, which is the negative 4. Okay, do you now get it? So, yung negative 4 is a negative exponent, meaning the denominator or the term in the denominator or the expression in the denominator is not an algebraic expression. Meaning, it does not satisfy the definition that the rational algebraic expression must contain the numerator and the denominator with a polynomial. Meaning, this whole expression is not a rational algebraic expression. As simple as that. Sir, bakit nga po ulit naguluhan ako? Bakit po hindi siya rational algebraic expression? Una, tingnan ng numerator, yung expression sa taas. May nakikita ka bang square root? May negative exponent ba? Wala po. Check. Tingnan mo yung baba. May nakikita ka bang radical sign or square root? Wala po. May negative exponent po? Meron po. Meaning, pag may nakita ka ng ganun, hindi na kagad siya rational algebraic expression. Okay? Another example. Example number 5, we have the square root of c minus 3 all over the square root of 5c plus 14. I think this one is an obvious one since ito ay paulit-ulit ko nang sinasabi. Okay? Ano nga ulit yung mga basic rules natin para masabing rational algebraic expression ang ating sinasabi or ang ating tinitingnan? Una, ang numerator dapat algebraic expression. Ganon din ang denominator. Yes, sir. Paano po namin malalamang algebraic expression? Una, dapat yung iyong expression, walang radical sign, walang square root. At pangalawa, dapat walang negative exponent. As you can see, dito sa example number 5, obviously, may nakikita tayong square root or radical sign. Dalawa pa sa numerator and the denominator. So, simply, masasabi ba natin na ito ay rational algebraic expression? Hindi po. Obviously, hindi po. Okay? And what's the reason? Kasi po, yung ating pong expression ay nasa loob ng radical sign or merong square root. Okay, so since the purpose of this or the main purpose of this video is to help you with your modules or activity sheets, I want you to get your activity sheets or your module, and let's try answering task 1, my definition chart. Okay, that's the first activity in your module. Okay, so what's the task? So task 1, my definition chart. So the directions, write your initial definition of rational algebraic expressions in the appropriate box. And then with this one, okay, let's click. Okay. So dito sa unang space na ito, isusulat ninyo ano ba yung inyong unang pagkakaintindi pag sinabing rational algebraic expression. So, basically, hindi ko sasabihin mali ang sagot nyo kung mali naman talagang sagot nyo dahil ito ay initial lamang, okay? So, kung ano yung pagkakaintindi lamang ninyo. And then, Your final definition, ito dapat yung pagkakaintindi ninyo sa ating discussion. Ano daw ba, excuse me, ano daw ba ang rational algebraic expression? Ito ay paulit-ulit ko nang sinasabi. Sir, pwede po bang Tagalog? Sige, pwede pong Tagalog. Ay, pwede pong Tagalog? Opo, pwede pong Tagalog. Sir, saan po sasagutan? Dito sa space na ito. Sir, pwede pong sa papel? Dito po sa space na ito sasagutan. Okay? Good. Let's go with your task 2, which is classify me. So, what's the task? So, task 2, classify me. Directions. Classify the polynomials on the left. Ito po yun. Ito yung mga polynomials natin. Ika-classify lang natin sila as ray or not ray. So, ano po yung ray? Ano po yung not ray? Ray or rational algebraic expression or not rational algebraic expression. Again, classify the polynomials, yung bawat nasa loob na yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yung 8 polynomials na yan, sasabihin nyo lang, rational algebraic expression ba siya or hindi? Sir, paano po namin gagawin? Nakikita nyo po ba itong table na ito? Okay, dyan nyo siya isusulat. Sir, hindi po kasya. Okay, punta sa likod ng iyong activity sheet. Kopyahin ulit itong table na ito. Kopyahin. And then, lakihan nyo na yung table. Yung magkakasya ang bawat isang ito. And then, sa ilalim ng rational algebraic expression, ito, sa ilalim nito, isusulat ninyo kung alin sa mga ito ang maituturing nating rational algebraic expression. At dito naman sa ilalim ng not rational algebraic expression, isusulat ninyo alin ba dyan ang hindi rational algebraic expression. So, let's try. M plus 2 over 0 or all over 0. Ito ba ay rational algebraic expression? Sa inyong pagkakatanda, ano dapat ang meron sa isang algebraic expression? Dapat numerator, polynomial, denominator, polynomial. At dapat yung denominator hindi magzi-zero. Ano kaya ito? Rational o hindi rational? Alam niyo na yon. Next, k over 3k squared minus 6k. Okay? So, dapat daw polynomial parehas. Polynomial kaya iyang parehas? Ewan ko, para naman. Ano po? Okay, next. Y plus 2 over y minus 2. O, polynomial ba parehas sa numerator at denominator? Ano sa tingin nyo? Sa tingin ko, oo. Next, 1 over a over 6. Polynomial ba parehas? Sir, wala namang kasaling letter yung isa. Pwede yun. Constant term yun. Constant expression yun. So, ano kaya yun? Next, 1 minus m all over m cube. 1 minus m all over m cube. Negative ba yung exponent? Hindi po. So, since hindi negative yung exponent, alam nyo na. Next, a over y squared minus x raised to 9. Negative ba yung exponent sa baba? Hindi rin po. So, alam nyo na yon. Next, c over a minus 2. Madali na yan. And then the last one, yun, c raised to negative 4 over m minus m. Obvious na to. M minus m, what's the answer? 0. Nasaan siya? Denominator. Nako, patay. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? So, I guess you are already done with activity or task number 2. Let's continue our discussion. Okay, so let's go with the second part of this second week modular distance learning topic in Mathematics 8, which is the simplifying rational algebraic expressions. Okay, so how do we simplify rational expression? So to simplify, we have an example here, and take note of this idea. Take note that if you did not understand factoring polynomials when you were in week 1, balikan ninyo siya. Ibalikan niyo yung notes ninyo and then the videos that I have already posted here last week for you to understand it better because factoring polynomials or the topic factoring polynomials will be critical in understanding simplifying rational algebraic expression. Okay, again, it's critical. It is necessary for you to understand simplifying rational algebraic expression. So, let's go with the first example. So, before that, so why do we simplify rational algebraic expression? It's just like getting the lowest term of a fraction. Do you still remember your idea or your lesson in fraction? 'Di ba sa fraction meron kayong lowest term. Okay? Kung nilo-lowest term natin ang fraction, ganun din sa rational algebraic expression. I want you to treat rational algebraic expression as just fraction. Pero merong variables, merong letter. Okay? So paano ba tayo naglo-lowest term sa rational algebraic expression? And that's through simplifying rational algebraic expression. Okay? So let's go with the first example, which is 4a plus 8b all over 12. So here is the solution. Okay? So we have the given 4a plus b plus 8b all over 12. So sir, how do we simplify? Paano ba kami mag-lowest term? Do factoring, if possible. Okay, let's go first with the numerator. We have 4a plus 8b. Excuse me, 4a, 4a plus 8b. So how do we factor it? Okay, so ang tanong dito, what factoring method is used in this step? Simply, we did factoring using common monomial. Okay? So, hinanap lang natin yung common monomial ng 4a at 8b. Okay, so simply para madali kayong makaintindi or madali nyo maintindihan ang factoring using common monomial, ano po? Look for the numerical coefficients first. 4 and 8. Wow, what's the greatest common factor of 4 and 8? Simply, it's 4. And then, is there the same variable with the two terms? O meron bang parehong variables dun sa dalawang term? Wala po. So, meaning 4 is just the common monomial factor or the CMF. CMF. Okay? Or the common monomial factor. Okay. And then next, let's go with this one. So, ulit, para makuha natin yung sa loob ng parentheses, again, the common monomial factor is 4. Okay? So, the common monomial factor is this one. Again, this one, the 4. Okay, 4. And then, let's go with yung nasa loob naman ng parentheses. Paano ba natin yun makukuha? So, based dun sa video, alam ko namang pinanood ninyo, ano po, dun sa video, divide nyo lang yung expression original doon sa common monomial factor. 4a divided by 4, it's simply a. Okay? And then 8b divided by 4, it's 2b. Okay? Over 4 times 3. Sir, paano ko nakuha yung 4 times 3? It's a factoring method na itinuro na sa atin before pa. Before kayo mag-grade 8. And that's prime factorization. Okay? So, paano nyo ba hanapin ang prime factorization? Or paano nyo ba hanapin ang factor nito? So, we have 12. Ano ba mga common factors? Or ano ba mga factors niya? We have 1 and 12. 2 and 6. We also have 4 and 3 and 3 and 4. So, we have 4 and 3. Ito yung nakita natin. And then, simply, pwede natin i-cancel yung 4. And then, anong matitira? We have a plus 2b all over 3. This is the simplest form of the rational algebraic expression for a plus 8b all over 12. So, this is your answer. Clear? I hope it is clear. Okay, let's go with the next one. Okay, so let's go with example number 2. So as you can see, I've already written notes here, pero sana maintindihan nyo kahit ganyan. Okay, so let's go with example number 2. We have 15c cubed, d raised to 4, and then c. Or sorry, that's e. Okay, again, the numerator 15c cubed, d raised to 4, e. All over 12c squared, d raised to 5, w. So the solution for this one is, of course, always remember that the first step must be we need to know what factoring method must be used in the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so in the numerator, we can only see monomial and as well as in the denominator. So it can only, or what factoring method can only be used? Simply factoring using common monomial factor or simply prime factorization. With this one, it can only be used or there can only be uh, prime factorization to solve this one. Okay, so we have this one, 15c cubed d raised to 4e. So, pag sinabi natin prime factorization, we just have to find the prime numbers or prime factors of each term or of each coefficient. We first go with 15. So, ano bang prime factors ng 15? We have ano ba yung mga prime numbers na kapag pinag-times mo, ang sagot ay 15. So, 3 and 5 yon. So, 3 times 5. And then, paano mag-prime factorization, sir, ng variable? Madali lang. We have c raised to 3 or c cubed. So, pag sinabi natin c cubed, how many c's do we have? Or how many c's do we have? So, c cubed. So, how many c's? 3. So, we have here, ito na yon, nasulat ko na. We have c C times C times C cube. Okay. And then, we have D raised to 4. Okay, so, prime factorization or the prime factors, syempre D. But how many D's? So, how many, or what's the exponent? 4. So, 4 D's. D times D times D times D. And then E. How many E's do we need? Only 1. Okay? Kasi wala may exponent. Ibig sabihin, 1 exponent nun. Then, next, let's go with the denominator. So, we have 12c squared d raised to 5w. Okay, so 3 times 4, dito ang solution. We have 3 times 4c squared d raised to 4dw. Sorry, d raised to 4 nga, w. Okay, so with this one, ano, prime factorization. Since we're looking for the prime factorization, um, let's first look at the prime numbers or the prime factors that can make 12. So, ano ba yung mga prime numbers na kapag pinag-times mo, 12 ang sagot? Madami. Okay? So, we have 3, 2, and 2. So, 3, 2, and 2. 3 times 2 is 6 times 2 is 12. Okay, and then c squared. So, c squared, hindi yun c2, c squared. Okay, so c squared, prime factors, c times c. And then ito, kulang ako. Okay, wait lang. Ayan. So, d raised to 5. Okay, d raised to 5. Ano-ano ang prime factors niyan? How many d's do we need? 5. Since we have 5 or as exponent. So, d times d times d times d and then times d. 5 d's. And then w, how many w's do we need? Only 1. Okay. So, now, let's do cancellation. So, 3, merong 3. Okay, wait. I'll just change that. Okay. Okay, so let's cancel. We have 3 and 3. 5, meron ba? Wala. C, how many C? 1. And then another C. Okay. And then D. D, how many D's do you have? 3. 2, sorry. 3. And then 4. Ayun. E, meron? Wala. Okay, W, wala. So, ano yung natira? Let's write it. Ito na yon. So, we have 5 C E over 2 times 2. That's 4. Wala nang variable kundi D and W. 4DW. Here is your final answer. That's the simplest form of your rational algebraic expression. What factoring method did you use? Simply prime factorization. Again, before we proceed with example number 3, the steps in simplifying. First, analyze the expression. And then, next, ano kayang factoring method ang pwede kong gamitin? And then, do the factoring of the numerator or factor out the numerator and factor out the denominator. And then, after that, simplify. Cancel out the common terms. And then, after that, rewrite your answer. And that is your simplest form. Let's go with example number 3. Okay, so let's go with number 3, x squared plus 3x plus 2 all over x squared minus 1. Okay, so this one's kinda easy kasi ito ay mga basic factoring methods lang. So ulit, first step, analyze. Okay, so analyze natin. Polynomial, polynomial. So, next step, factor. I-factor natin yung numerator. So, we have x squared plus 3x plus 2. So, factoring trinomials. Okay? So, as I can remember, pag factoring polynomials, you need to first look at the numerical coefficient of the first term. Kung 1, madali na yon. Okay? So, kapag 1 ang iyong numerical coefficient, just like this one, okay, paano siya ipa-factor? You just have to find the factors of positive 2 na kapag pinag-add mo, ang sagot ay positive 3. Again, isip ka ng numbers. Pag trinomial ito ha, hindi sa lahat. Okay? Pag trinomial. Pag trinomial at ang iyong numerical coefficient ng unang term ay 1, 1 yan kasi walang nakasulat, okay? Hanapin mo lang ang factors ng 2 o yung mga numbers na kapag pinag-times mo, ang sagot ay positive 2. Tapos, pag pinag-add mo, ang sagot mo ay 3. Okay? So, ano-ano ba yon? So, ano-ano ba yung numbers na pag pinag-times mo, ang sagot ay 2? 1 and 2. Negative 1, negative 2. Okay? Negative times negative, positive yon. So, pag pinag-add natin, 1 plus 2, 3. Negative 1 plus negative, negative 1 plus negative 2, negative 3. So, hindi siya po pwede kasi dapat positive 3. So, ang pwede, 1 and 2. And then, rewrite it. So, we have x, ito yon, dalawang x, at saka x. And then, yung factors ng last term na kapag pinag-add, ang sagot ay yung middle term. So, 1 and 2. 1 times 2, 2. 1 plus 2, 3. Okay? Factor mo na. Let's go with the next one. The denominator, polynomial ito. Okay, so ano nakikita nyo? Monomial, binomial, or trinomial? Yes, binomial. Kapag binomial ang iyong nakikitang expression, as you can see, as you can remember doon sa ating previous videos, ang ating gagamitin ay it's either factoring sum or difference of two cubes or factoring difference of two squares. So, tingnan muna natin yung two squares. Pag sinabing two squares, perfect squares in terms. So, x squared, obviously, perfect square. Yung 1, perfect square ba yung 1? Anong square root ng 1? 1. Ibig sabihin, siya ay perfect square. Okay, madali lang hanapin o madali lang mag-factor ng perfect square binomial. So, ano ba yon? So, ano ba ang kanyang factor? Simply write x plus 1, x minus 1. Or kung ano man yon, write the square root of the first term, x, square root of the second term, 1. And then, plus and minus. Yun lang yun. And then, okay, so since ito ay binomial, you just do cancellation of binomials, not terms. Okay? Hindi isahang terms lang. Binomial. So, x plus 1 parehas. X plus 2 over x minus 1, wala ka nang pwedeng gawin dyan. Simply, x plus 2 over x minus 1 is the simplest form. Okay? Okay, we good. Now, let's try with your task 3. Let's go with your task 3, simplifying rational algebraic expression. You just have to apply the steps I have given you with this one. Ano bang task? Simplify the following rational algebraic expression and write your answers at the back of this paper. Sir, saan ko po isusulat ang sagot ko? At the back of this paper. Sir, pwede pong sa papel at the back of this paper. Saan isusulat? Sa likod ng inyong papel na hawak, which is your worksheet. Okay? So, una nating task, ito, 8x plus 16y over 16. So, bigyan ko na kayo ng hint. Dito sa 8x plus 16y, gagamitin nyo ang factoring using common monomial factor. Ano ba ang common monomial factor ng 8x at 16y? So, 8 at 16 muna. Anong common factors nila? Madami. 8, 4, 2. Pero greatest dapat. So, 8 yun. And then, variable, may parehas ba? Wala. So, meaning, 8 na agad yung iyong common or greatest common, or sorry, the common monomial factor. Then, divide mo lang. 8x divide 8, 16y divide 8, and then, rewrite it. So, gaya lang sa number 1. And then, dito sa 16, ito ay prime factorization lang. You just have to find the prime factors of 16. Okay, next. Ito, number 2. P cubed. P cubed minus Q cubed all over P squared minus Q squared. Very basic. Madaling-madali lang ito. Dahil parehong binomial ito. Una, i-check mo kung ito ba ay cube, perfect cube, or perfect square. So, una, basically, dito sa una, sa numerator, ito ay cube. Now, so, you will do factoring polynomials, factoring the sum and difference or difference of binomials or perfect cube binomials. So, ito yon. Ano ba ang square root ng P or cube root ng P cube? So, P, cube root ng Q cube, Q. And then look for the pattern na nandoon sa inyong unang worksheet dati, nung last quarter. Or basically, dito na lang sa video na nandito sa group. Okay? So, ito ay factoring sum or factoring difference of two cubes. And then yung sa baba naman, factoring difference of two squares. So, balikan nyo lang yung video na yon, masasagutan nyo na ito. And then, after nyo ma-factor, cancel yung binomial na parehas. Next, ito, number 3, x squared plus 6x plus 5 all over x squared minus 4x minus 5. Okay, so ito ay dalawang trinomial. Napakadali lamang nito. Ano po? Dahil ang mga numerator mo or numerical coefficient of the first term are both 1. So hanapin na lang ang factors ng positive 5 na kapag pinag-add mo, ang sagot ay 6. Hanapin ang factors ng negative 5 na kapag pinag-add mo, ang sagot ay negative 4. And then, rewrite it doon sa iyong dalawang binomials. Sir, saan ko po makikita yung review? Meron ditong video sa baba, doon sa group, dito sa group na to. And then, makikita nyo yung factoring trinomials with 1 as the leading coefficient. Okay? So, I hope masagutan nyo ito. And, okay, let's go with your task. Number 4. So, it says here, do not answer task 4, solve me. So, sasagutan po ang task 4, hindi na po. Do not answer task 4. Okay? Next. Let's go with task 5, the circle process. Ito, madali ito. So, the instruction, to summarize the lesson, complete the circle process. In each circle, ito po yun. Okay, in each circle, you just have to write the steps in simplifying rational algebraic expression. Sir, ano pong gagawin ko doon sa circle? Isusulat mo lang yung steps kung paano mag-simplify ng rational algebraic expression. Ayaw ko nang galing sa Google. Gusto ko galing sa inyo. Sir, pwede pong Tagalog. Pwedeng-pwede. Basta ang mahalaga ay naiintindihan ninyo. Ano po? So, sa una, ito yung unang step, pangalawang step, pangatlo, and then pang-apat. Okay? So, ano pong isusulat dito? Steps ng pag-simplify ng rational algebraic expression. Ano bang unang ginagawa? Pangalawa, pangatlo, pang-apat, o baka may panglima pa. Pwede kang magdagdag. Pwede ka rin magbawas kung ayaw mo. Basta ang mahalaga, galing sa salita ninyo. Let's go with task 6. All in. Okay, pag sinabi all in, lahatan. So, here is the task. Translate and simplify the given problem. Write your answer on the space provided. Sir, saan po isusulat ang sagot? On the space provided. Pwede pong sa papel, on the space provided. Doon isusulat. Okay. So, the quotient of 2x squared plus 5x minus 12 and 15 less 10x. So, ito, una nyo gagawin dito sa green na ito, susulat niyo yung translation niya. Sir, paano ba mag-translate? Simply, ito translate nyo lang, gaya ng ginawa nyo nung kayo ay grade 7, yung statement sa isang rational or sa isang algebraic expression. Quotient, pag sinabing quotient, division, fraction, pwedeng fraction dyan. Ano? Excuse me. So, 2 squared, the quotient of 2 squared plus 5x minus 12 and. So, pag sinabing and, tapos ka na doon. Ano po? So, ano yung numerator? 2x squared plus 5x minus 12. Okay? So, trinomial yon. And then, and, ibig sabihin yung nasa baba, denominator, 15. Okay? Less. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng less? Minus. 15 minus 10x. So, pag nasulat nyo na yung translation dito, yung algebraic expression or the rational algebraic expression, inyo na ngayong isi-simplify yung na-translate ninyo. Saan po isusulat? Dito sa space na naka-provide. Sir, pwede pong sa papel, dito sa space na ito lamang. Kung hindi magkasya, sa likod. Sir, pwede pong sa papel, sa likod pag hindi nagkasya. Okay? Okay, so that's it. Grade 8 students. Again, I want to thank you sa pagtsatsaga dito sa video na ito. Kung umabot ka sa part na ito, ibig sabihin, nakikinig ka talaga. So, I want to congratulate you for just doing your best. So, I know lahat tayo ay hirap sa panahong ito dahil hindi tayo sanay sa ganitong setup ng pag-aaral. Pero just take a look on the positive side that still nakakapag-aral ka kahit ganito ang sitwasyon. So that alone is an achievement for you. So huwag iisipin na lamang ang iba dahil may ganito sila, lamang or nakukulangan ka sa iyong sarili dahil wala kang ganito. Always remember that we teachers are here to help you. You just have to approach us. So before I end this, I want you to remember, you have to keep fighting. Together, we can get through this. Okay? So, lahat tayo nahihirapan, lahat tayo lumalaban, pero if we keep fighting, patuloy lang tayong lumalaban at patuloy nating haharapin ito. Hindi naman pwedeng iwasan natin ito, di ba? Hindi natin pwedeng iwasan ito. So, we have to keep fighting. And together, sa pagtutulungan, we can get through this. Hindi naman natin kayo, or hindi namin kayo iwanan, kayong mga bata. So again, congratulations for making up to this part and enjoy mathematics.